Have you ever looked at your bank account and thought, I worked too hard for my money not to be in a better position? If so, you're not alone. There are 5 money mistakes that quietly erodes people's finances. And guess what? They don't look like money mistakes, especially number 5. Stay tuned for it. And we're going to break down today what those are, how to quickly address them such that they don't show up in your life throughout the remainder of this year. So for those that are new, welcome to the channel. I'm Dexter, and on this channel, we cover strategies, tactics, and tools to help you get better at managing your money so you can achieve your financial goals. Let's dig into it. So most money mistakes don't show up because of one major event. They show up through quiet, repeatable activities of how we manage our money day in and day out, right? With the first money mistake being not documenting where our expenses are going. So how we're spending our money, we're not documenting. And the way this shows up is because sometimes at the end of the month, we know that for our fixed expenses, we know where everything's going: mortgage, car payment, rent, you know those. It's just those variable ones that add up. And the part about the creeping, the difficult part is that it creeps over into the lifestyle via credit cards, because we may have spent, call it everything that we're allotted, call it our full paycheck, so paychecks for the month. But the way we cover that negative cash flow is with credit cards. Because sometimes folks say, how could you have negative cash flow? And I said, well, because you use the credit cards to cover those expenditures, right? So what we're going to do to address those is we're going to start documenting our expenditures. And there are a couple of different ways you can document. You can document via spreadsheets. So you think about Google Sheets or Microsoft Excel, or you could document via an app. There are online apps out there. You have free versions and paid versions. I know that there's one, Every Dollar by Ramsey Solutions that I use. But there are many ones out there that you can use. The good thing about them, if you have the app, if you have your phone, if you're out making, expenditures, say at a gas station, just finished filling the pump, it's $52.72, type in $52.72, man, it's captured, right? I do know people have done the same thing with Google Sheets, where they can pull it up on their phone and do the exact same thing. So just whatever you do, just get consistent with it, because that's going to create, some confidence in where your money is going. Typically, it takes a couple months for you to get a good routine down with how you're using this new process. But I say just get started, right? That's the main thing, get started. Money mistake number 2 is carrying those high debt balances month over month and year over year and thinking that it's okay. And one of the reasons that we think it's okay is because we're making the payment, right? If someone's showing, if a creditor is showing $75 as that minimum payment, we pay that month after month, year after year, and we think we're doing good, right? Because we're sending that money in and think, hey, I'm making progress. But guess what? The balance is barely moving. And the reason the balance is barely moving is because the interest is doing what it's supposed to do, right? Those payments are designed to cover just interest on those credit card payments like that. So if it's an open-ended type of debt. But what we're going to do instead, we're going to use one of 2 different methods to pay off this debt faster. So we're going to use the debt snowball method, where you list your debt from the lowest balance to the highest balance. And we throw all our extra money at the debt with the lowest balance, get it paid for, and then the next one, and continue the process. Another alternative is the debt avalanche. That's where you list your debt from the highest interest rate to the lowest interest rate. Start going after that debt with the highest interest rate first. So throw all your extra money at that debt till you get it paid off, and then subsequent to the next one, and then you get some momentum going. Because once we get that momentum going, then we have confidence that the process works. Once we have that confidence, then we have some relief, right, from a financial standpoint. Then as we think about money mistake number 3, that's where we use credit to cover our emergencies because we don't have any savings. So that call it a small repair, could be an HVAC system repair, could be a car repair, and you call it less than $500, could amount to 6 months of interest payments, right? 9 months, just kind of depending on how you get around to paying and how you factor into it. If you use an existing credit card, something new, or etc. What we're going to do instead to kind of get this debt out of our life, what we're going to do instead is we're going to say, okay, we're going to create some savings routines here. So the first one is we're going to initiate 500 to 1,500 savings target. So this is our small target emergency savings. Once we get that one taken care of, the second one we're going after is those non-routine expenditures. And this is where we may have expenses occurring once or twice a year. Could be semi-annual insurance, once a year Christmas purchases that you're used to charging on the card. Could be once a year where we're used to going on vacation and using that card. No, we're going to stop that. Stop the madness there. We're going to set a target, backtrack to what we think we need to save, call it paycheck savings, and just save those accordingly. Now, the key here is that money for those particular savings targets, don't keep those in the checking. We're going to create, if we already don't have it, just a separate savings account, because we don't want that money to get lost into our everyday expenditures by mistake and get spent by mistake, right? So that's how we're going to kind of address that utilization of that credit from an emergency crutch standpoint. We're going to go ahead and create those emergency savings accounts there to kind of address those. Fourth, money mistake is not thinking about how serious our credit is. Think about how our credit health is until emergency comes up, right? So credit is really important, and it drives, your debt payments, because that credit score impacts your interest rate, and that interest rate then determines your payment. So if you have lower credit scores, right, call it less than 600, less than 650, your interest rates are going to be higher than someone with, very good scores, 780 above, right? If you got very good to excellent credit scores, excellent starts, I think at the 800 range, but they're rewarded with a lesser interest rate. So in the same scenario, if you got the same balance, the payment's going to be different, right? So imagine how much money you could save by just working on paying your bills on time, because that's the major driver of your credit scores, on-time payment. So one of the things we want to do here is pull our credit reports from the 3 major credit reviewers. That's TransUnion.com, Equifax.com, and Experian.com, and review them. Look for any anomalies, any type of errors. Could be misspelling of a middle name, an address that doesn't really belong to you. You never lived at that address before, showing incorrect employment history, dispute any and all of that. Make sure you also check your public records there, because sometimes a mistake could be there. Like they could be showing you having a bankruptcy and you're like, no, I don't have a bankruptcy, etc. Just check all of that, right? And dispute anything that's not, you don't agree with, dispute. Now, I think at Experian.com, you can even see what your credit score is for free. So that would be great as well, to see how you line up, right? So we got a plan there. Go after that to make sure we're on time payment. And another one that could move your needle positively from a credit standpoint is don't max out your credit cards. This is one that folks don't even realize. If you have your credit utilization at 30% or less, it doesn't have a real major negative impact. The ones that's in the excellent range, they try to be even tighter than that, at 10% or less. So if you got $1,000 credit card, try to have that up on $100, right, for less than 10% utilization rate. So that's why it's so critical that we get debt out of our life, because it just compounds to, everything being more expensive. Credit score is also used by insurers sometimes to kind of determine your premium amount. If you're applying for jobs, depending on the type of job you're applying for. So if you're applying for something in finance and you have bad credit, why would I trust you if I'm a company with millions of dollars of my money if you can't even manage your own household finances, right? So just think through reasons why you need to really pay some attention to this area here, this money mistake area, number 4. Number 5, depending on one source of income. In today's environment, last 12 to 24 months, we've seen areas that we thought were secure from an employment standpoint not be the case. Be it private sector, public sector, government, you name it. Everything is fair game that we've seen from a standpoint of pink slips being handed out. And one thing they don't do, they don't ask for our opinion, say, is it okay for me to let you go tomorrow? No. So they just come out of the blue. So you got to be prepared. So as we think about preparedness, let's look for something small. It doesn't have to be big. Look for something small to do to kind of help provide some more fuel to eliminate debt quicker. Provide more fuel to enhance our savings quicker, right? That reduces the anxiety levels and that sort of thing. Now, if you don't have any idea what to do based on your skill set, I've got a free guide down in the show notes here that kind of walks you through step by step what'll work for you based on your experiences, your talents, and your skill sets. Just download it and follow the steps there. So there you have it, the 5 steps, from a money mistake standpoint, these top 5 money mistakes that we want to get out of our life this year. Hopefully you found this helpful. You may see yourself in one or multiple. If you do, that's okay. That is totally okay. But now it begins, right? The hard work begins, and you start implementing the necessary strategies to get better step by step. So if you found this video and information helpful, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel for more strategies to help you get better with your money, and share this with someone that you think can find the information beneficial. And I'll see you in the next video.